This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
But my God, it's been a little bit juicy on Married at First Sight, and things have really heated up with one girl in particular. Her name is Sarah. She joins us in the studio. Sarah, thanks for coming in.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you guys for having me.
Oh my God, where do we start?
Are you a bit nervous, Sarah?
I am a brave girl, aren't I? Coming in here today.
Yeah, you are, but you know what? You seem quite calm and you seem quite relaxed.
Oh, I just had another interview, so I know what's coming for me.
Well, then let's get it out of the way, should we?
Have you ever cheated on a partner?
Are you calling me out?
No,
right
but
now?
have you ever cheated on a partner?
Tell me off.
She did what she did.
You said it's questioning my morals.
She's cheated on me. It's on the weekend.
Right. Okay, guys, can I just say, you guys are questioning my morals and my character, but how many of you at this table have cheated on a partner? Raise your hand.
Raise your hands, man. Raise your effing hands.
Well, Kate, put your hands down. You don't. She's not directing it at you.
I'm baffled because even before you walked into the studio, just trying to put together all of the pieces of the puzzle. I mean, not only the dinner parties, but the meeting up with the ex before the experiment, and then catching up, and then did you catch up, and then you were just babysitting puppies, and
There's a lot.
There is a lot.
There's a lot going on, and
Are
there's
we
also a lot of context that's also missing
Well,
from a lot of it.
that's what I
yeah.
was wondering. Are we seeing things as they happen?
So, look, when I walked into that dinner party, I was getting it left, right, and center. Like, questions were coming from all directions. And at that point, I could barely get a word in. And it looks like everyone's quiet and I'm just saying my
Raging.
piece. But it wasn't that. Like, everyone's mics were turned off clearly on that episode. And it just looked like I was calmly saying, or not calmly, but like saying my piece. But at the end of the day, I could not get a word in. So at that point, when everyone was asking me questions, I was like, yep. Just kind of agreeing to a lot of things. When I walked in, Tim had told someone something that I had told him in private, which was that I had slept with an ex before the experiment. Funny thing is that it's not the same ex in question. However, I didn't go into detail about it because I didn't want to confuse everybody with already all the stuff that was going on.
So two exes.
Yes, there's two exes.
So you hooked up with two exes?
No, one. I hooked up with
One.
Well, I have.
So the ex that you caught up with before the experiment is not
The ex
the
in
ex you
question.
went to meet up with
Correct.
during the experiment.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but see, the thing... Okay, so I think the problem that everyone has, though, Sarah, is that you refuse to apologise. And
Yes.
the moral question is, and I would like to ask you now, and we've been talking about this before you actually got into the studio today, is it cheating when we know you didn't do anything with your ex? You went and met him with some friends that night and you didn't do anything, that's fine. But because you didn't tell Tim and you did it secretly, is that regarded as cheating?
Micro-cheating.
Well, I would say it's definitely an emotional cheat. I definitely take on board that what I did was wrong. And I think one of my major regrets was not being more apologetic and not consoling Tim right then and there. I think in that moment, my heart came out of my ass a little and I was like, holy crap. Like, I was like, I'm on national television. Everyone's going to think I'm a cheater and I didn't cheat. So I think I went into defense mode, which obviously wasn't the best thing to do. I obviously should have just apologized straight away, but I felt absolutely like caught off
you were
guard.
backed into a corner.
You know,
Yeah.
So just clarify this for me. There's the guy who had the girlfriend of 6 years.
Yeah.
And then did you hook up with him?
So after me and him broke up, for the first 4 years, we hooked up while he was on and off with his girlfriend. So every time
Right, it's a bit of back and forth.
every time him and his girlfriend broke up.
Do you know
we
the
would-
girlfriend?
No, I don't. I don't know her personally. No.
See, but then it was... I know.
A lot of damage been done.
See, the way that I look at you on the show, I want to be
Summarise
honest.
for me, mate.
You never had eyes for Tim, and you knew from the start. You knew from the start that you weren't attracted to him, and it wasn't going to work. And there was a moment at the start where he was asking you out on dates. You said you were too hungover, and you missed out on 3 dates.
Yeah.
Then they gave you a razz, the judges, or the experts, and they said, "Look, you've got to get into this." And you know what? Then you started making an effort with Tim, but you were never really into Tim. And then this whole thing blew up. Do you wish you got out a little bit earlier? Sarah?
I don't, purely because I did have glimmers of hope. Tim and I did have good moments. And
Tim loved you.
While you're very right in the sense in saying that I probably wasn't into him as much as he was into me, I did want to give the experiment a chance, and I did want to hold on to hope and those little glimmers of like special moments that we did have. As you can see, every time I was on the couch, whatever they would say, we would do that week and we would get better.
What was the most beautiful moment you had with Tim? You talk about those glimmers.
Well, I think we got into some really deep emotional conversations once we actually started spending time together. And as you could probably see last night in the episode, I say to him, like, you're really emotionally intelligent. Like, you know, we could both kind of see where we were faulting in this relationship. You know, he definitely realized that he could step up and be more assertive. And I was like, I definitely need to work on my communication style. And I've never had that with a partner.
I think there's an opportunity missed. I mean, Tim looks like a great kisser. Yeah, is he a good kisser?
What?
Yeah, he's a great kisser.
And I just feel like when I saw moments of sparks,
How do
that
you know
have to do?
someone's a great kisser
Look,
when you
Tim-
look
tell.
at them?
Tim and I had great sexual chemistry. I think that was a major part.
Explosive.
Yeah, like we had really good sexual
Heavy.
chemistry. So that was a lot of what was keeping us together at that point in time when things weren't necessarily showing on screen that we were getting along. But it did build, and I think that that's the whole point of the experiment, is to kind of you're meeting a complete stranger, and some people were luckier than others to meet someone that they just got along
then
with
does
straight
that mean
away.
you're emotional when you see photos of him with the new Brazilian girlfriend?
What Brazilian girlfriend?
That one.
Okay.
Is that
So
a
on the
good
Gold
Shots
Coast.
of him on the Goldie
Who
with,
knows when those were taken?
with Miss Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
What do you know about that?
I know nothing.
So are you currently in a relationship at the moment, Sarah?
I can't say. You're just gonna have to
Well,
wait
you'd
and
know
see.
if it was a no.
Can
know,
I
okay.
have you been having correspondence with your ex after all this has happened on Married at First Sight over the past
which
week?
ex?
So I
Fitzy.
will say that the episode caused a bit of damage, and I did hear from the ex in question. It's not great, and I feel terrible that I've involved other people in my drama. It wasn't fair, but yeah, look, after the whole thing happened with my ex, I did cut ties with him, but he has come back and messaged me about it.
Did you date Ollie from last season of Married at First Sight?
No.
Oh, because that's what everyone's
Yes?
chatting
Okay.
about.
Okay.
So Tani, his wife on the show, who he was with for quite a while, has outed you, saying you're saying not nice things about Tim, but you actually went out with Ollie. Is that correct?
No, I didn't go out with Ollie.
Did you hook up
Did
with
you
Ollie?
hook up with Ollie?
No, I did not hook up with Ollie. I've never met the guy. I've never
Sarah,
actually met him.
You're standing in a photo with him.
What?
No, that's Tani.
Play along,
Oh,
guys.
I was like, what?
Play along. I'm trying to get it.
That's bullshit.
So you didn't hook up with him?
No. He did a podcast on like advice for current MAFS contestants, and I was really struggling at the honeymoon with Tim, and I was like, look, like, what do I do? Like, do I stick it out? Like, it's too early. And he was like, you know what? Yeah, he gave me some really good advice. I did say some of the issues that I was having with Tim, and maybe that's what Tawny meant about not so nice things. You know, there was a point in time where Tim was a little bit too affectionate, and I was like, he's just very like needy.
Yeah.
It's just a lot for me right now. I've just met the dude, and maybe that's what
Well, the other
Tawny
story
meant.
getting around is that you hooked up with Jaden.
Jaden.
Who's Jaden?
No.
Was that his name? Jaden, the one with the long hair.
Oh,
Like
yes.
Eden's
sorry.
partner.
Yeah.
No.
Now you're just running through a list of rumours.
That's
no.
crazy.
Can I just ask you, are you enjoying all of this? Because
no.
even now that we're sitting in the studio and there's like questions being fired at you left, right, and centre, there's part of me that feels for you.
Look, it's been really hard. I think what they're showing is so one-dimensional, and no one is one-dimensional. Like,
No.
of course, I made mistakes, and I own that, and watching it back felt absolutely terrible, but I do have good sides to me, and it's a shame that those aren't shown, because I'm not just a horrible person. I made a lot of mistakes, and I was horrible.
We are all like that.
Yeah, but Sarah, you must have known, and this is what I ask every contestant who goes on Married at First Sight. You must have known that they're not going to look after your best interests.
Absolutely. No, yeah, and I thought that would be the case. I'm a very outspoken person. I always kind of had that idea that I was going to be a villain, and I was prepared for it. Thought I had thick skin, but turns out I don't have.
So when you were texting Eden, a friend, female friend on the show, and you were saying, "I'm catching up with the ex. Can I borrow a shirt?" Shh, emoji, this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You must have known in your mind that this is going to get back somehow, and this is going to blow up.
Look, I think my problem is I trust too easily. That's always been my issue. I don't know if it's a strength or a weakness, but I definitely felt like I could trust Eden. And as a girlfriend, I was just like, oh, my ex is going to be there. Can I borrow a cute top? Can I look cute? I'm sorry, but if you don't want to look cute for your ex,
So
you're
true.
lying. You're
I do
lying.
it every time.
Yeah.
Every time when I'm catching up with
You
them.
are. I can't see you lasting much longer on the
mate,
show.
that's
It's
not
over.
fair. I think
it's
you've
over.
Do you
got a
think
long
it's
way to
over?
go.
It's definitely over, but
Oh, well.
but we haven't had a partner swap on MAFS yet. So Sarah, unless you hook up with another husband,
Like Jaden.
Who would you swap with? 'Cause
No
I'm just-
one.
I'm
Yes,
looking
I
you
got
at
the
would.
best out of the bunch.
catalogue
What about
for
Jack?
sure.
No, absolutely not.
I
Absolutely
could see
not.
you and Tim getting it on.
Timothy.
Well, yeah.
I absolutely love
There
Timothy.
you
I
go.
actually would have gotten along with him quite
Hey,
well.
Could you look? We spoke about our MAFS dinner party at the start of this chat.
Yeah.
We would love you to come along. Would you like to come along to our Married at First Sight dinner party that we host
Of
every year?
course, I would love that. Thank you so
Be an
much,
honour.
guys.
Be an honour.
Gotcha.
Bring your exes.
That'll be fun.
bring your ex, and Tim can
You
bring
can have
his
as
new
many
boo.
tickets as you
Okay,
like.
perfect. I'll bring all of them.
Fits in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.